Yesterday took me back to the first time that DACA was rescinded in 2017. DACA recipients have undergone much uncertainty and lived in limbo for the last 5 years. We need more than temporary. Necesitamos más que algo temporal. Enough is enough. It's time for Congress to do its job. Es tiempo de que el Congreso haga su trabajo. For Democrats who are with us, we need them to finally deliver for our communities and call out and push their Republican colleagues who want to see DACA in. Para los demócratas que están con nosotros, necesitamos que finalmente estén al lado de nuestras comunidades y que llamen a los republicanos que no están a favor de DACA. We are here to remind Congress to do its job and provide permanent protections for all. Estamos aquí el día de hoy para recordarle al Congreso de que hagan su trabajo y que pasen protecciones permanentes para todos. Now we're going to hear from some directly impacted people, from some DACA recipients. First, we have Michelle Lainez, who is a student at Trinity University and applied for DACA.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Michelle Lainez, and I am undocumented and unafraid. I am a student at Trinity University in United We Dream. Sorry, bear with me, I'm so emotional. I came to the United States when I was only 4 years old with my family. We moved here from El Salvador for a better life. When I was in high school, I became eligible for DACA when Trump tried to end it in 2017. Then we beat him at the Supreme Court in 2020. I remember being outside of the Supreme Court after that decision. I thought to myself, could I finally apply? Is it my turn? A few months later, a judge forced USCIS to start accepting applications again. I felt like this was finally my time. I thought what this could mean for my life and my family. I would finally be able to get a work permit. I will be protected from deportation. Unfortunately, my application was never processed. It was put on hold after the cruel ruling for a judge in Texas. And we are in the same situation now. Now, after this ruling from the Fifth Circuit, my application not only remains on hold, but DACA was sent back to the same judge who already ruled against it. In many ways, growing up as an undocumented woman, I have felt like my life has always been on hold for as long as I could remember. In high school, while my friends and classmates were planning their next move, I was worried if I could even go to college. Now that I am a junior in college, I am worried about paying for law school, and if I am able to go, will I even be able to practice law when I'm done? The truth is that this ruling is further proof that DACA is not enough for our communities. I, along with over 80,000 other immigrant young people, have saved up money, able to get the security of DACA for 2 years and still don't have it. And this court ruling continues to keep DACA recipients in limbo. But enough is enough. We are here today because we are done with temporary. We are done with being put on hold. Everyone, no matter where you're born, what language you speak at home, your race, your sexual orientation, you deserve the freedom to live free and thrive. Our communities are powerful. We won DACA because so many people like you before me were brave enough to demand what we deserve. I'm here to show that I am brave enough to demand what we all deserve. We need and deserve full citizenship for all undocumented people. Congress, we need you to do your job. We need a pathway to citizenship now. Thank you all.
Thank you, Michelle. Up next, we have Ashley Mejia, student at Marymount University, DACA recipient going to medical school, and a United We Dream Action member.
Hola mi gente, ¿cómo están? I just want you guys to take a moment and just realize who's around you right now. Our friends, families, and just think about why you're here and who you're here for. And I just want to take a moment just to take it in, even though we are here because it's such a heartbreaking. I am a DACA recipient and a member of United We Dream. I am undocumented and unashamed. No matter what any court says, I am here to stay. I am currently a senior at Marymount University, majoring in biology with a pre-med major and minor in psychology. I am SGA president of the undergraduate student body, and I am a part of many other roles across campus. My mother is my biggest inspiration and supporter. I am originally from Honduras, and I moved to Maryland when I was 4 to be reunited with my mom. My mother sacrificed everything so that I can have a better future. She endured many injustices back home in Honduras and here in the United States. But her dream is to see me walk across that stage in May 2023 and graduate. Her motivation and drive is what kept me going all my life. This dream isn't just for me, but for my family, my community, and most importantly, my mother. I can still remember the feeling of her warm hug after years of not seeing each other when I came to the US when I was younger. My mom was adamant about helping me to make sure that when I became eligible for DACA, I applied right away. She always had done everything possible to make my dreams come true, and applying for DACA was one of the pivotal steps in doing so. My mother's words stay engraved in my mind. Toma todas las oportunidades que este país tiene. Take advantage of all the opportunities that this country has to offer. She helped me stay on top of applying for DACA for the first time when I was a teenager. This meant that during my teenage years, I was able to get a work permit and was able to get a license. Honestly, in many ways, this helped me feel a sense of normality. I felt like I wasn't much different from my other classmates. It wasn't until I was a junior in high school that the reality of my status started to get real. That was when I realized that even though I had a DACA that afforded me to be able to work and get a driver's license and have that 9-digit security number, I didn't qualify for federal funding. The only thing that I can think of was how would I be able to make my mother proud. She always told me how she wanted more for me, better for me. She wanted me to grow up to be this amazing professional. I wanted to make her sacrifices worth it, but my immigration status felt like a giant standing right in front of me and wondered how I would overcome it. Thankfully, I was able to receive the Dream.US scholarship, which allowed me to pay for school at Marymount, and now I am close to graduation. I know that I want to continue to give back to my community. My dream is to go to medical school and become a doctor, a dream that feels so close but yet so far away. Unfortunately, the giant that I once thought I conquered has been fearing my community over and over. Again, we stand here fighting and sharing stories with hopes that we will be heard in the courts. We have nothing but our stories, our resilience, and community power. My life and the lives of so many others have been in the whims of the courts and politicians who seem to hell-bent on detaining and deporting many immigrants such as me. With this decision in the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals has cruelly decided to continue to put my future in jeopardy. While I will continue to be able to renew my status, my question is for how long? How much more of this legal limbo? We need more than this back and forth. We need something permanent. Not just DACA recipients like me, but the 80,000 first-time DACA recipients who qualified but never got their applications processed. We need citizenship for all. Enough is enough. We need Congress to work hard and ensure that you pass a pathway to citizenship for young immigrants like me. Thank you, everyone. Sí se puede. Sí se puede.
¡Queremos ciudadanía para nuestros hijos!
Ahora.
¿Cuándo?
Ahora.
¿Cuándo?
Ahora.
¿Qué queremos?
¡Ciudadanía!
¿Cuándo?
Ahora.
¿Cuándo?
Ahora. Undocumented! Undocumented! Woo! Up next we have Diana Pliego, DACA recipient and policy associate at the National Immigration Law Center. Woo!
Hi everyone, my name is Diana Pliego and I'm a policy associate at the National Immigration Law Center. I'm also a DACA recipient. So that means that as soon as we heard the news of the Fifth Circuit's decision yesterday evening, I couldn't help but feel conflicted yet again. I felt both relief and frustration, gratefulness and anger, hopeful yet wary. I felt instant relief when I heard that renewals could continue because that meant that my brother, who just submitted his renewal application because his DACA expires in a few short months, would be able to receive protections for another 2 years. He is currently the primary support for my parents who are still recovering from the devastation that COVID had on my family last fall when it took my older brother and almost took my dad. My brother needs his DACA to work and provide for our loved ones who need him, just like so many people across this country. So for a moment, I felt relief, gratitude, and somewhat hopeful that things aren't as bad as they could be. However, I also couldn't help but feel deep frustration over the fact that once again, our lives are hanging in the balance. Our futures are in the hands of strangers and our emotions and overall well-being are tied to decisions completely out of our control. I felt anger for the over 80,000 people who applied for DACA for the first time and never received protections due to politically motivated lawsuits, and the countless more who will never qualify for DACA due to the outdated and arbitrary cutoff dates. I felt anger that despite the constant and widespread support from the American public, Congress still has yet to come together and pass a permanent solution. I felt worried that they will take this less than worst case scenario as an excuse to continue the political games and again put off permanent protections we urgently need. So we stand here today, again, in front of Congress, asking each and every member in their respective positions of power to think for one moment about what it's like to walk in our shoes, what it's like to live your life in 2-year increments, what it's like to anxiously await court decisions that could take away your livelihood and your ability to stay in the place that you call home. We at NILC, our partners and immigrant youth everywhere are doing everything we can in this fight for our community. So Congress, we need you to do your part. Don't wait until it's too late. Come together to pass the long overdue permanent protections with a pathway to citizenship for the millions of immigrant youth who call this country home. We are looking to you and we are urging you to act because our home is here and we are here to stay. Thank you. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes,
We can.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
¿Qué queremos?
Ciudadanía.
¿Cuándo lo queremos?
Ahora.
¿Qué queremos?
Ciudadanía.
¿Cuándo lo queremos?
Ahora.
Woo! Up next, we have Cindy Colade, DACA recipient from Ivory Coast, essential worker in the medical field from Cast in Action. Woo!
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Oui, nous pouvons.
We pouvons.
Oui, nous pouvons.
We pouvons.
Oui, nous pouvons. Yes, we can. Hello, my name is Cindy Colade from the Ivory Coast. DACA has been, as we say, DACA has been a part of our life for the past 10 years now. Thanks to President Obama executive orders that he took in June of 2012. It was a relief for all of us and our family when I became documented in January of 2013, as I was part of the first that applied for it. I remember starting applying for jobs without fear of being denied. Although DACA gave us the opportunity to get a work permit, to continue our education, and now my education. And now I am a clinical lab technician in Baltimore, where I was one of the essential workers all through the pandemic. DACA is not a permanent solution. We needed to make it a permanent solution. It's been in jeopardy for the last 5 years, and we need Congress to make a permanent solution for us. DACA gives us the opportunity to plan for only one year at a time. My future depends on it, and many children's futures depend on it. I live in fear that DACA does not become a permanent solution, and we need Congress to see us as part of this country and make DACA a permanent for all of us. Ensemble, nous pouvons. Together, yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Sí se puede, 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 sí se puede. Up next we have Isaías Guerrero, organizer with Firm Action.
All right, how are we doing today? ¿Cómo nos sentimos, compas? ¿Se puede o no se puede? ¿Se puede o no se puede? ¿Se puede o no se puede? Así es, compas de lucha, pues es una alegría estar aquí y compartir este terreno de alegría, de esperanza y más que nada de poder. Porque nosotros, aunque somos indocumentados, somos poderosos y poderosas y vamos a demostrarle a esa gente que está allá, a esos congresistas que tienen que despertar ahora y tienen que seguir el camino hacia la justicia y hacia la democracia, que quiere decir que necesitamos un camino de la ciudadanía ahora, para los 11 millones. No solamente para los indocumentados que tenemos DACA, sino para nuestros padres y madres que sacrificaron todo para que podamos estar aquí y empezar una nueva vida llena de esperanza. So, I know that many of us feel angry, right? We're angry at Republicans playing with our lives. At Republicans playing with hope, burying it in the ground and criminalizing it. Republicans need to stop criminalizing hope and humanity. Those Republicans that stand for racism, they're basically showing their racism with the policies that they're pushing. Not only in Congress, but also Republican judges that want to bury DACA to the ground. We know that DACA is real, we know that DACA has a benefit, and we know that DACA is legal because our lives are legal, and every step that we take to make this country a better place should have a light in its own and should be legalized. So we say, ¿papeles cuándo? Papers when? ¿Papeles cuándo? Papers when? That's right. So I work for an organization called Community Change Action and Firm Action, and we're committed to making sure that in November we will get all of our immigrant voters out. Those people that can vote will show our values in the polls. We will make sure that pro-immigrant candidates will be elected because that's what's right for America. Pro-immigrant candidates mean pro-justice and pro-democracy, and that's who we should elect. So we will see you in November for all of those that stood against us, and we will make sure that we also give the vote to those that stood with us. Now, this doesn't end here. We have to continue organizing because it's going to be a tough road ahead. even if we can't get a legislative path, which we will continue to push, and we call Congress on right now to make a reality. We want to see a path to citizenship for all undocumented people, and this needs to happen now. So both Republicans, stop with your racist rhetoric, and Democrats, actually do your job that you promised in 2020 when you were going for campaigning. And most importantly, we have to go back to our communities, y'all. Let's continue organizing, knocking those doors. I guess we can knock them too, but making sure that more people join our movement. Because this right here is beautiful, but we need to get everybody who's alone right now, who doesn't have this space, to talk about what's going on, how they feel, and bring them into our cause. So, ¿se puede? ¿Se puede? Sin papeles! Sin papeles! No papers! No papers! All right, thank you.
Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
Up next, we have Monica Camacho, DACA recipient from Mexico and paraeducator. Woo!
Good morning. My name is Monica Camacho Perez, and I'm originally from Mexico. Over 10 years ago, I fought with my family and community for the passage of the DREAM Act, and I remember feeling crushed watching it fail to pass Congress. After that failure, we knew our only option was for President Obama to use his executive power to provide relief under DACA. I became documented in February of 2013. It was one of the happiest days of my life. My life changed forever that day. Thanks to my work permit, I finally was able to start a career with confidence, enroll into college, get a driver's license, and buy a house in the place I call my home. I am now a homeowner and work as an ESOL educator in Baltimore City Public Schools. Although I am thankful for all the doors DACA has opened for me, DACA is still a temporary status. And I live with the anxiety every single day that the time could come that I am not able to renew my work permit and everything I have built will fall apart. Because of DACA, I am able to live in this country with some sort of protection, but DACA forces me only to plan my life 1 year at a time. I can never make plans for 5 years in the future.